In the immediate aftermath of the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center, Ground Zero was swarmed with emergency workers digging into the rubble to find anyone who might still be alive. Retired Hartford firefighter John Mudrey was one of them. And now when he talks about his experience there, he talks with the same determination he carried into Manhattan 20 years ago. Hartford firefighters were actually discouraged from going to Ground Zero in the wake of the 9/11 attack. They were told there was already an army of personnel on site and more firefighters would just clog the process. But you can't ask a man who's built his life around answering the call to ignore one. So John Mudrey went.
People wanted to jump up and go right then and there. Figured it's the right thing to do. Attack on the country, you're a firefighter, you got a lot of your guys missing, thousands of civilians.
So Mudrey and a buddy drove down, reported to a police precinct, and got an escort to Ground Zero. Mudrey says when he arrived, he saw a New York battalion chief standing atop a 10-story pile of debris calling for help. So he scrambled up the slope and went to work. He didn't find any survivors in the rubble, but he didn't stop looking either.
There was a case where I found reflective tape, and I thought it was off a fireman's turnout coat, which happened not to be. You know, it had something to do with computer ribbons or whatever. I worked along with search dogs from around the nation and around the country, and they were all confused because the debris field was so great.
Nobody was thinking about the risks of toxic dust and debris at the time. They were laser focused on the work in front of them. It has become a controversy in the years since, of course, and legislation was passed in 2010 to provide health monitoring and treatment for first responders, volunteers, and survivors. John Mudrey is well aware of the health risks he incurred, but he has no second thoughts.
I understand there's a lot of people get ill from the toxic dust. I myself am showing some red flags, but I would do it all over again.
And one final thought from John. Ask most people what the main lesson of 9/11 is, and they will give a philosophical answer. But John Mudrey is a first responder, and his is a first responder's answer.
They will slip in again and do something. I don't know if it'll be as horrific as that, but my sense is something will happen again. And when and where, who knows, but God.
Yeah, and we just have to be
vigilant. Yeah, don't let your guard down.
And listen to this. When John was recounting his trip into New York City, he told me that when he arrived at Ground Zero, he actually felt blessed to have made it there. That's how committed he was to doing whatever he could to help.